Nouns convert their map pick. It's a close affair on Vertigo, but now we go to Overpass, the domain of Legacy. Now, what are you expecting to see from them on this map?
Yeah, well, look, it was a rough day in the office for Legacy yesterday, especially against Pain. It felt like, look, they knew how to take this map control, and then they just didn't really do anything with it. And that's got to change, and I feel like it definitely will. Nouns, of course, starting on this CT side. 3 players down connector immediately for Legacy. And Jeorge is left completely isolated.
Marky's jump spotting, and I think he might actually get a whiff of this if they come around the corner, but no, it's Jeorge that has to take the first contact. He's going to hear them coming. 3 players ready for this fight to come on forward. Junior waiting to see if anyone's going to peek around the corner, but no one just yet.
That's really nice. Really good control as well by Carson. He's got the space. Also, Jeorge tried to run back and be very audible to bait them into this setup. It hasn't happened. Legacy still got the control, but ultimately, Junior is still out towards long toilets, gets the whiff of info. CJ falls on the bomb site. Jeorge has to stay alive because there's a flank coming in.
Getting run down, but does get away. Gush under the head of Marky, and he's run down by Neckers. Jeorge is still here, and he doesn't even realize that Neckers is behind him. Barton from Long finds Hears, and Carson is left clutching his dual Berettas, wondering where his team has gone.
Not only clutching the dual Berettas, but having to try and clutch up the round, but can't even get past the first. Lato locks it in. And for Legacy, that was a simple walk on towards the A bomb site. Now to set all these traps in place. It looked really good. The push out towards Monster, the clarification from Marky jump spotted in connector, Jeorge running away, trying to spring in the trap that Legacy never fell into. And it was from there, it was just so simple. It was all of these isolated kills. Legacy move as one. And they claim the stake in the first pistol round of their map pick. 4 Spy out for the Nouns, 2 scouts. For Carson and Junior looking to affect the economy, but Carson up close needs to be really careful of Cold Zero around the corner.
It's just going to fall all the way back. It's interesting they went for the force into this, considering they didn't really find anything in the pistol round. Carson just swings back through, past the bathroom doors, finds tag. Between him and Junior, that's kind of the objective here. Be as active as you can with the scouts. Try and find as many tags as possible.
By him being so erratic in the way that he's moving, it might even tell the idea that there is only 1 scout here on the bomb site. Audio given over in connector. Legacy can look to try and pincer Jeorge in, but Carson is still trying to be a nuisance. Try and delay as much as possible to get Jeorge out, but he can't manage it. It's Dumel through the smoke, and it's Cold Zero with the follow-up. Nouns are bleeding.
It feels like Carson this round is like a fly that just keeps buzzing around your head, and you keep trying to swat it away, and it just darts away.
Still difficult. Look at the read. Nouns have repositioned, everyone rotating over towards B. There's a single flashbang for Legacy. Sure, there's an abundance of smokes, but 1 flashbang to get you past these pistols.
CJ's up close. Well, maybe he might want to get set up by that flashbang he has. He's just going to swing wide, and he finds his kill, make it 2-0. CJ, the king. Marky gets one of them, but they're devastated with this 4 Spy. Ladder trying to fight something back from Monster. Cold is low, so can't even get involved, and there's no time at all.
And Nouns don't even leave it to chance. They just double swing. The 5-7's going close, and you've got the scouts at the back lines that can try and pick off these players as they come in battered and bruised for the bomb plant. In fact, they don't even need it. It's CJ the King asserting his authority on the server. Nouns respond immediately, and there's no bomb plant. Here for Legacy. Their money immediately shattered. Their hopes dashed a little bit more. And for Nouns, they can now mix and blend in these A1Ss, these AKs that have been scavenged. The buy looks a lot better compared to what it did before.
Not really treating it as a bonus though. They've kind of put all of the utility and dropped some items over, so these 2 scout players don't have a lot of extra cash. So if Legacy can win this 4 Spy, and it's going to rely on these 2 rifles, Mal's got dual Berettas, which is a crazy piece of weaponry to be bringing in to this round.
Rinse and repeat from what we saw yesterday. Bouncing control established. And now for Legacy, it's a chance to kind of spread their roots. Fan out. Take the space. Just a slalom right now towards the toilets. They're trying to be very quiet. They don't want to alert Nouns of their presence, of the potential of the whole squad being here. But as we've seen over the last 3 rounds, they're being proactive again, Nouns. They've got all the pieces in the right place. Jeorge has snuck round and he's seen that smoke go over. Lato round the corner. Carson's not ready and Jeorge is fully blind.
Doesn't see a thing. You thought Jeorge's position was a knockout punch. Junior's tag does something. Flames will force Lato forward perhaps, but maybe not even going to spread Cold Zero. Junior gets deleted. CJ and Marky needed to save these 2 rifles. Marky's actually hanging around a moment. This could get concerning if he does get spotted. Given that if you keep these 2 rifles alive, you can keep the force buy going.
That's painful. And again, that's Nouns losing to themselves, it feels like, in this round. And it's all about the management of the macro in rounds like this that really determine who's going to be the victor so early on in these maps. The fact that Nouns decide to go aggressive, sure, if you want to do that to gain some information, you've got Jeorge posted with the MP9, doesn't necessarily need the support of everyone else. Immediate pause being called, 30 seconds for Semphis to get on the microphone and just calm these players down. Almost felt like that one was given over to Legacy, the opportunity to have these engagements in the first place. All that was necessary for Nouns is just to kind of sit back a little bit. You've got the superior weaponry, you've got the advantages when it comes to the manpower, the burden of pressure for Legacies to get onto one of these sites and plant. The utility, it just wasn't even there. It was pure contact, but it was facilitated by Nouns overextending. Of course, it's going to be the spy-in again.
I remember the Legacy's first outing was it against Pain in the best of 1, and they only got 2 rounds on Overpass, the map they've picked into here. I guess when you get thrashed that much in your opening best of 1, that's plenty of things that you can work on.
It is, but also, look, this is one of Legacy's strongest maps. Like, it's really good that they don't shy away from it. In an elimination game, you need to play to your strengths, and ultimately that is what they're doing. Junior trying to play to his scoped weaponry, trying to deal the damage. Instead, it's the spam that's coming out with the deagle. But despite this, look at the map control that Legacy have got. Short established, water secured, and now long is the next prize for this T side.
This is that force buy, remember? So this space that Legacy is taking is fantastic for them. It's a 5-7, and Junior's scout towards the A side. It's good to see Legacy being quite proactive across the map and getting this control. Definitely felt like they were struggling to do that in that opening game.
Now, Lato has just spammed. So that's going to keep Nouns interested. And I really like this from Legacy. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Long-range gunfights. Bartan has a swift clothesline on towards Junior. Rotations are scurrying up just as the hit comes in. They're here in time.
Yeah, CJ, he's actually going to move way far forward. Jeorge just walked through a smoke. 2 elements unknown, and Carson's position is fantastic. Jeorge gets his. Carson swings around for 1 as well. Needs to follow up with the Neckers. Can't quite convert. Marky arrives at the scene. 3 players to find, and his position is being covered. Smoke at the moment, veiling his approach. There's just no way out here. The crossfire should be enough. Neckers is providing some distraction, but he's getting a shot in the back by Barton.
Again, the setup there, the ideas of the round for Nouns is perfect. It's just the execution that is a little bit sloppy. And what I mean by that is that rifler needs to be the player on dice. The pistol needs to be the one giving away the audio bait by being vocal over towards toilet. So when Legacy come out towards long, they're focused on a pistol player, not an M4. It's so easy to overwhelm. That rifler that you've saved needs to be that surprise punch, and it isn't. Instead, it's Legacy with 3 rounds now. And finally, they make Nouns bend the knee, reduced to just the USPs, no utility.
Something like Jackie there with the...
I'm trying my best.
Start listening to him and suddenly you're waxing poetical. One day beat poet. I'm surprised Cold's got the ult. Not gonna matter though. Demau on a farming mission. That Farming Simulator 2024 Demau edition. Sows and reaps the rewards. And oh. Prolonged engagement. The USP versus Mac 10. Just put him out of his misery. Someone, anyone. There it is. Barton finds the kill.
High prioritization on the AWP as well for Cold Zero, right? It's the fact that even though they know it's against an eco, it doesn't matter. He's still going to bring that out. And now we can start to discuss what they're going to be doing with this AWP. And it's going to be static from Cold. He's going to take the angle on towards party. He's going to wait. He's going to be patient. Then what's he going to do? He's going to go towards long. He's going to wait. He's going to be patient. But what they're doing, Legacy, is they're cordoning off these zones of the map, and then Nouns are going to be forcing to respond. This is how Legacy were gaining these rounds on Vertigo as well. They were making Nouns funnel into their support network, making the mistakes, and ultimately punishing. Jeorge caught off. Utility perfect from Cold. He sets up the riflers to find the opening kills.
Ahead of that aggressive smoke, and you just know that the CTs are going to be close on by, and he was the only player over here. Nekaz is in the A bomb site within 30 seconds of the round starting, and that might just be the round ending.
I can't believe that. It's so quick. You've got to save here if you're Nouns. You've just invested everything in. You lose one player to a singular flashbang, and Nekaz takes the space and he goes, you know what, guys, we're just going to go A. Taking some of that proactivity that they saw Nouns trying to apply to their trade on the attack, and it's worked perfectly. How quickly did they scale? And it was almost like it was rehearsed. It's almost like they've had a look at what Nouns like to provide, and they've gone, okay, if Jeorge is in this position, we're just going to completely extend because we know the rotations are going to be on a long journey.
Yeah, 1 minute 35 on the clock, and Nekaz is in CT spawn at truck. It's an outrageous pace. Hey, at least Nouns had 4 players over towards B, so the save is pretty nice. Even taking one down toward the end. Surprising to see Jeorge solo there, considering they've thrown the utility that implies the aggressive take, right? It's the deep smoke in towards the stairs, the Molotov towards playground. That's normally a set of utility that has backing cast behind it of at least 2 players to kind of fight forward into that position, establish the control early. I imagine the intention is more just to sell the idea that that's happening, because they've got 4 players over towards B. They want to kind of scare Legacy early and make them try and counter by taking play into short instead, perhaps. Yeah. Doesn't quite work out when Jeorge falls.
Yeah, no, exactly. Junior really likes going for these plays where he can be aggressive and go for these short line of sight peaks onto a short water. That's when he was potentially trying to prioritize here. Another pause being called in for Nouns as well. Junior gets dropped a flashbang, but that is the only piece of utility he is working with. Legacy do not want their dreams to die in 2. They want to make a statement here against Nouns. 5-1 already on this T side. It looks incredibly promising for a map that has been defined by defenses. Dumau, Bartan accelerating this time. Normally it's just Dumau. But Jeorge gets the better of him, but he's being pincered. Neck is not ready. That communication surely lacking, surely not there.
He wasn't asleep at the wheel, he was in a full-on slumber. Took some Ambien before he went for that peak. Many Legacy players are going to group up towards long. Only space they've been able to establish now. And yeah, there might be some thought in Nouns' heads that, given they've found 2 players so close, that might send them elsewhere. It's just going to be a run boost. No, just a boost. Oh,
an attempt.
Let's give that one another go. Might be able to catch the player that's jump peeking. Nice attempt. Now his position is known. Jeorge is investigating. Junior can get caught off here. He's very fast on a flick, but he's completely isolated.
Yeah, he is really on his own here, and he's trapped in a world of hurt. Look as he goes around this corner. Well, in fact, didn't get spotted. Flashbang, not good enough. Junior will at least find one. And now it's up to the riflers to survive because Jeorge is on this flank. Tucked in behind the truck is Carson. Bartan starts to go. Oh, and he does deliver spectacularly. Nade through, doesn't blow open the smoke. But Marky staying alive buys all the time in the world. The fake plan undoes everything. And Nouns will grab the second. Legacy without a plan.
Surprising they go for a fake plan with 10 seconds left. Nice shot from Cold. I mean, I think even if it had been committed to, the flank was there fast enough that it probably wouldn't have mattered, but still, gives you a better chance to commit.
I think it's just a case of where Bartan's done so much damage. He's got the first kill. He knows he's done subsequential significant damage on towards that second player, towards Dumpster. And the nade went a little bit deep where it doesn't blow open the smoke. He's worried just in case they're going to run through. Right here, that was the moment. But you're right, the flank was always going to lock things in anyway. So second round achieved for Nouns. Bartan running and has got the support. In fact, it's Lato that finds Marky just through this smoke.
Spamming on in, and now a boost comes up. May have been heard. No, Carson definitely gets the information now of that little jump. Junior drops into the side as well, so CT is reinforcing B.
That's committed. Good molly as well. Good counter utility being thrown by Legacy. They want to have this space, and they know that an opportunity potentially comes from a boost. Dumal holding for it. And now Legacy can activate. It's a 5-on-3.
Yeah, Nouns felt like they needed to get a kill back, and a boost felt like the answer. He misses a shot, but looking for a kill into CJ, but that swing finds success in Jeorge, who's pushed through the long bathrooms. It's going to be into the back lines. This round is entirely on what Jeorge can achieve. Unknown, Cold starts to run with the bomb on his back. Jeorge, it's just going to come through the ground that they have cleared. They check out towards long, see nothing. And he's going to have 2 kills on a platter, gets the first, flicks over to Cold Zero. This is his jungle. Bomb being planted over towards the truck, and Jeorge flanked eventually into Kids. Neckers able to find him, and even doubling up. Junior quick on the shot. This becomes a 1v1. First tap comes on through. Ladder is close, waiting for the swing, doesn't believe it, and it's a miss from Junior that gets Legacy their 6th.
Yeah, well played there from Legacy right at the very end. Jeorge, it looks a little bit turbulent, but he's able to get those 2 kills. Deny the bomb plant at the first instance. And from there, as he's turning, he sees the player over towards Connector, but then gets caught in 2 mines. By that point, the bomb's already been collected. It's already been replanted. And Lato and Dumal just wait, playing these headshot positions. Locking it in, but it is all on Neckers as well, just swapping over that fast shot. It's pure contact out of Nouns. They want to overwhelm because they feel like they've got the element of surprise. And in fact, they haven't really got anything. Yet again, it's just 5-7s. It's this smoke that's been conditioned round after round, but the only backing behind it, yet again, is a 5-7 from Jeorge.
Yeah, Legacy should have no issues taking the lead. Or the half. 7 is already a phenomenal T-side, it feels. Definitely looking a different beast than they were yesterday, that's for certain. Slow starts from both squads, really. Nouns had that 10-2 half against FURIA. They just got 2 rounds in their T-side. Almost brought it back on Inferno, which would have been a phenomenal result. Today, they have to bring everything their A-game required just to avoid elimination.
Slow starts and Overpass have been a common feature piece with this Nouns squad, and we're seeing some of the sort of same results that you kind of get when you go through the tail of the tape of this side of Nouns and what to expect. It's a lot of reliance being provided on and put in place on individuals. And we've seen that. We've already seen it reflected here in this T side so far. It is solo pushing in all areas of the map. It's Jeorge on a flank trying to double up, get these triple kills. And do you know what is the harrowing thing that I'm seeing? There's a real difference between Vertigo and Overpass. Is Junior not taking any initiation on this AWP. And stylistically, that's what we highlighted. And that's what the desk has been saying. coldzera, Junior not going for anything. Legacy going for a fast pop. Utility, they're just going to run straight through it and disrespect it. Full blind. Dumao doesn't care. He burns Marquis alive.
Yeah, great utility. Carson spotted and domed by Neckers. CJ gets one back, but they are all over the site. Junior has no chance in this round to even get involved. A great change up from Legacy after such slow default heavy Counter-Strike. They just throw it out the window after they've broken the backs of Nouns straight in towards B.
Also the timing of it as well. They've just invested again. They've just brought the AWP out. And as we're talking about Junior going for these opening picks, that is the moment he decides to go towards Party. More often than not, has been starting on B. Legacy have been prioritizing taking long. So all of this mental warfare is adding up. Neckers is calling a perfect game.
Jeorge just survives 1 HP. A little bit too close to the explosion on the A-bomb site, but at least he'll live to fight another day. Armor might be a little bit worse for wear. What a T-side, 8-2. Nouns will invest around the AWP and the M4. They need the rounds at this stage. Yeah, I think that kind of reflects how this map's going.
All Nouns need to do is keep up the map control. They've been doing a great job of doing that, but you don't need to spread out. Once you gathered the space, you can make a decision. You can retreat, or you can group up, just leave a player in there and then just rotate over heavily. But believe in your crossfires, believe in your setups that you've got on the bomb sites, because that is not what we're seeing at the moment. And Legacy are just picking you apart.
Feeling emboldened just to go for fights. Lato poking and prodding from short, but gonna fall off. His presence a threat enough, and the smoke fades. He's aware that Jeorge has shown some prevalence to being present in towards the connector. Now we'll start to come on forward. Neckers over the top. Oh, Jeorge, not a nice position. Still able to get one before he goes. More than you expect from that spot. At least a bit of spam damage back as well to Dumao.
Yeah, fair play for Jeorge. The fact he goes 1-for-1 there is big because it keeps the rifle in hopes at least even. Look at the bomb. coldzera just taking long on his own. He's got the package on his back without a care in the world. Nouns, where this audio is being so significant by Lato, they're keeping 2 players over. It's an even split, but it relies on Junior hitting this shot over towards top connector on Dumao.
I really don't like Cole being alone with the bomb. Junior hits the shot.
Better.
Smoke deployed. Lato will be on him. The hit coming through from long going to be distracting. 20 seconds, time is going to be an issue. Junior behind default has some space to work with. Flash forward Molotov, and he finds his mark under coldzera. Junior finally arriving on Overpass. Lato's going to fight one back and sticking the bomb. They're finding the space. CJ, I think he denied it. Finds the second as well. And Nouns get their third.
Yeah, and that's really what Nouns needed. Junior hitting the shot, falling back, just not worried about the utility. There was one flashbang that was thrown over towards long. The truck player doesn't get affected by it. Sure, gets neutralized by the rifles at the very end, but there's too many players in such close proximity to the point where Legacy can't put the bomb down, can't establish afterplants. They've suffocated themselves out of that round. And Nouns are given a lifeline, a way back in. 4 would be ideal. Anything less, it's a struggle. And you already look ahead to that third map.
If you just waited a second longer, peak would have been there. Junior skirts back up to long, jumps up onto Flowers. Now, it was a gap in the previous round. Bringing over some extra support towards A. Carson comes to reinforce Jeorge's position.
This is a good setup, and it's also been heard as well. They can hear Legacy just running all the way through connector. It's a bait and switch. However, Nekiz goes through the left-hand side of the smoke. So this setup is now completely redundant. At least for a moment. Legacy are going to walk back into it. But when do you disengage? Carson spots the shadow, and he is able to get the headshot. And now Jeorge will walk forward.
Starts to peer on in. Oh, dear. Barton jumps over his bullets. The dink, at least, makes it difficult for Barton into this round, but it is a 4-on-4. Could have been a 5-on-3. Now it's just Junior over here. Carson is in towards heaven, so can rotate up quickly in time. Again, Legacy are letting the clock tick on down. Would be an issue. Junior looking to disrupt, peering on through. Cole misses his shot, just the leg. Barton at least is there for the trade.
Time. 10 seconds. You got to get in. Carson just holding the door and potentially trying to slam it shut. Utility over. Denies Lato the bomb. And that's the round done and dusted. Nouns at least find 4. No time to plant this bomb. Legacy, they're the mistakes that they're making. They're the creators of their own downfall. Nouns, just about by the skin of their teeth, able to hold the line. But it's been given to them. And now these players need to stand up, brush themselves off, and go again. Because this is a chance that doesn't come around too often.
4 doesn't feel like enough on the T side, but a strong start can definitely get them back into this map and a chance to 2-0 Legacy. Keep their major dreams alive.
Can't let this slip if you're Legacy on the other side. Bartan performing exceptionally. Not a player you throw into that conversation of putting up the numbers. Brought in to re-establish an identity for this Legacy team, give them that consistent fifth. Someone that's had the experience of playing in this roster before, knows what it's like to be in the major. Run boost over, that's not spotted. Oh, and Bartan delivers yet again. Dumao up close, it's double terror with the dual Berettas. Nekiz takes a dink, but ultimately they're fighting straight into Legacy's hands. Dumao is completely churning them up and spitting them out in the face of Monster. Marky fights back, not once, but twice. Bomb secured, but would need the full house.
No health. And they're not giving him the fight, setting up where they can trade. A single shot onto any of his body parts will fell him finally. Some quick headshots could give away back in. Dumao was one shot of death if he can hit the dome. If anything is Marky. Zero's angle in heaven spotted. Now Marky's position is known. Rotation come through from short, slowly. Lato creeps on forward to provide further crossfire. Dumao's just dancing, firing off shots. Plenty of bullets in the chamber. Marky's not being given much to fight with. Cold Zero eventually takes him down. Legacy with yet another pistol round.
Yeah, that's been something that's been quite consistent here for Legacy. Just
4-4.
grabbing these pistols and converting just these follow-up rounds. Nouns have responded with the force buys. That's always been something that they can sit back and rely on, but definitely not here on Overpass. No bomb plant makes that difficult as well. And when you're down such a number of rounds, it's a difficult decision to make. I like the eco. I like the idea of bringing the guns into the next round, surrounded by utility. Just hope and pray you walk into Lato, so the SMGs can't farm up. Instead, it's Cold Zero. He's here again, and he is dragging Legacy, kicking and screaming over the finish line of this second map. He does not want to miss the first major in CS2.
A very quick Glock round from Nouns. Legacy deal with those pistols with ease. The MP9 farming up. Allow Cold to get an AWP pretty early if he wishes to. And yeah, he is going to buy it. So get that out immediately. MP9 gets juggled on over. And Nouns with the AKs. Galil in the mix, but nice stuff to work with. Passing some utility over towards Biden. Just getting aggressive. Cold Zero holding from deep as well. There are 4 players over towards A for Legacy.
I like this. You also just dropped all those nades you mentioned. Oh, just to kind of give the idea that no one's here. In fact, it's everyone. Lato, Cold Zero. It's a delayed totem pole of death, but it's the MP9 that collects 2. And now Nouns are scrambling. CJ and Khan, Marky, all the way back in spawn, so disconnected from themselves and from the bomb. And Legacy just disengage.
Yeah, you can just leave Cold looking off the angle, right? He's got the AWP, he knows where the bomb is, can just keep an eye on it. Although he starts to feel the pressure because they don't have any space in towards the rest of A. Legacy are playing this so controlled, considering they've got such a massive advantage. Those advantages can slip away quickly. CJ does find 1. There are 2 low HP players. It's not out of the realms of possibility. Bomb has been collected by Marky. Back up towards B, he goes to regroup with CJ.
Barton's angle as well, just incredibly passive. It's just waiting for the bomb to be put down. There's no denial utility outside of Lato's HE, which could come down and would ruin the hopes and dreams of CJ. But if Marky plants, that's okay. But Legacy have figured this out ultimately. 10 seconds, got to cross onto the bomb. You got to be quite vocal. Plant down. CJ's the one holding it. There's the nades. Okay.
Almost takes out Barton.
That's worrying.
That could have been a way back in. Marky has to do it all though, and he can't find the first amount. Jiggling on the corner is going to take him down. Bomb planted is something for Nouns, but they need more than something. They need something tangible, some numbers at the top of the scoreboard. As Overpass slowly fades away from them.
It's interesting just looking at the evolution of Legacy and the way that they've been calling a lot of these mid-rounds just throughout the series. In Vertigo, it was the element of surprise. Even letting it through the veto was step 1 in that encounter, but you take a look at the rounds that they were playing, they're incredibly unorthodox. They were going for a lot of set plays out of spawn that were trying to catch and just keep Nouns contained into a precise little box that Legacy wanted to dissect them from. Here, on Overpass, on their map pick, where they feel a lot more comfortable, it's settled, it's regimented defaults, and it's the experience of these players, where they've been together for so long. Through countless RMRs and CSGO minors, they know the journey. And they don't want to fall at the first opportunity. Lato on towards Marky is a fantastic start for the Brazilians. And CJ just helplessly spams. Nouns wanted to go for a faster B split. They wanted to go through connector and towards short water. And Nekez is even taking liberties, just jumping for info. But the only gap is towards Monster. Flashbang thrown over. That's secured as well by Bartan. They can be locked in here potentially, Nouns. Bartan has to be careful.
Flashbang on over. Carson, I feel like he had a good timing there to find something. But the counter utility from the CTs, and now Barton's position known. CJ did not clear him. Eventually wins that fight out. Junior with the bomb is stuck in towards jail. And a known entity might be able to get out, in fact. With Jeorge coming through, group back up. Still a difficult 2v4. They've got a single Molotov between them. And everyone comes down to reinforce. They've got this sole player holding, if they come back up connector, so they can have 3 players on B. A smoke collected. It's going to smoke off heaven, but no one was there anyway. It's a double up in towards water. Jeorge needs to fight forward, needs to find these kills. The first is his, but a great trade. And Lato is there for the final kill. Legacy finding map point.
Yeah, well done there. Because again, in these positions, it can quickly fall out of favor. We've seen a lot of 2 versus 4s that have really come down right down to the wire already in Vertigo. Here in Overpass, though, Legacy are just denying it. And they're doing the simple stuff correctly. And that's ultimately carrying them over the finish line. They've not really been tested here on this T side. It's felt comfortable, no matter which way you want to take the direction of the riflers, no matter which way Cold Zero wants to set up with his AWP. Respect's being given over by Nouns. And Legacy, they're gathering every single little piece of intel and using it against them. Big nade, but doesn't get him off the angle. Cold Zero still holding on for one more opportunity.
Mal also wants to get involved. A HE ready to be thrown over to blow the smoke. That's pretty neat, but no, actually went a bit deeper. CJ going to be tucking into the corner. And Nouns are doing a good job at taking to the space. Cold is holding a very wide angle. Junior's going to peek into it. He is able to dance back. A swing not immediate. Carson now posting on the angle, looking to see if he can catch them. But Cold Zero, a master of jumping, able to elude. Now peeking onto the angle, getting a few opportunities. Lado eventually take it into his own hands to find that opening kill. Continuing to be supported by these flashbangs. It's like every 2 seconds, one just blows up in the server.
Oh.
That's the bomb.
Speaking of flashbangs, there's nothing here at all for Nouns. They're going to go out with a whimper. Bomb dropped on the floor, signified the intent of the round. Cold Zero, 1 bullet left in the magazine. 1 bullet would only be needed to take out one of these 2 remaining players. Could be caught on a timing here, and he is. Marky overwhelms with a headshot. Nekis, Bartan, step in. And Marky needs to step up like he did on Vertigo, but not this time on Overpass. A deciding map needed between these 2 sides.
13-4 going in way of Legacy. Congrats to them. Of course, we still have one more map to go. That is going to be the final map of Overpass. But before we dive into that, boys, I need you to...